Hi, my name is Brenda Titus. I'm a professional hypnotist in Orange County, California. For information about myself and my program, including in person sessions, please go to my website, ochypnotherapy.com. So, today's thoughts from the hypnosis office is the ripple effect of personal growth. And I always like to think about when I am working with a client, regardless of what their life situation is, somewhere there are other people in their lives who are going to be impacted by the sessions that they do with me. Whether they're parents and so their children are, how they're going to grow as parents is going to impact their children, whether, my teens or, well, I mean, anybody, they still have their parents alive. It might impact their relationship with their parents, friends, families, coworkers. And so I like to think about this, like I said, as the ripple effect. Now, as a little bit of a rewind on that, you might have heard of the phrase, the rising tide raises all of the ships. So if you think about, the low tide, everybody's going to, all the ships, they're on the same ocean, same slice of water. And so the tide lowers and it's going to lower everybody. And we're kind of, going down. So sometimes in families and social groups and work groups, if one person is struggling, that could impact in a not so great way everybody else. So as we raise the tide, right? So that person is doing better, maybe they're more effective at work, better able to be a teammate, or even how that plays out into a family situation. If that family member raises up, and then it can kind of lift the spirits of the other people within the family, or quite frankly, beyond just cooperation with household duties or responsibilities, the positive attitude, or even seeing the world through a different set of eyes, through having gone through a therapeutic process and overcome a challenge. And so then that raises everybody else up. So it is a really neat and powerful thing that I'm really aware of. And so I'm always really thinking about, who else in your life? I mean, obviously my clients, my first goal is them. So, how are they going to be positively impacted by their sessions? But then it's really exciting to think about then, how it might help other people in their lives. I mean, as an example, people, when I see for smoking cessation, that then if, dad stops smoking, then he's going to be more present for, the kids' soccer matches, because he's not going to be off, grabbing a cigarette, or they're going to be able to travel because dad feels more comfortable being able to get on an airplane and go and travel rather than trying to figure out how they're going to get their cigarette. And so in a situation like that, it's really wonderful, because then I can, really bring to light how much the kids will be positively impacted, both in the immediate nature of, the being present and managing situations in a whole new way without the cigarettes, but also, generation upon generation. And I, because then, maybe dad's going to live longer because he's not going to have health problems associated with the cigarettes. So it's just such a neat way to think about, when we go through our work and we make changes in our own lives, we have to remember, we are not we don't live on an island. We aren't an island unto ourselves. Our lives do touch other people's lives, and so I really want you to think about that as you continue through your life and your journey, and remember that ripple effect. And so kind of how I think about it is that, I'm really recognizing the person that is in front of me. And but beyond that, there's the people that whose lives they touch. And and that could be their immediate family, or friends and work associates, or what have you. But then as they manage their lives in a different way, then even beyond that, every person whose life that they touch, then those people have the ability to impact and touch so many lives beyond that. And it's just, when you think about it, just keeps expanding and expanding. And I just think that that's such a beautiful thing, you know, when one person makes a choice, whether it's by choice or because something happens in their lives, they say, I have got to make a change in my life. But when one person makes a move to grow, to change, to overcome a challenge, and to really dig in and understand themselves and accept themselves, then it just ripples out into such beautiful ways out into the world. And quite frankly, you know, the world needs that. We all need to be able to, you know, accept ourselves, love ourselves, understand ourselves, and then also understand our impact on each other. And then, like I said, as that ripples out, and it's a neat thing. So I'm just one person, but of course I know that I get to touch so many lives every single day in my work here in the hypnosis office as I help my clients, and then they get to go out into the world and share that with the people that whose lives they touch. So I hope that that was a fun way to think about yourself and your life, and the ways that that you impact other people, and especially recognize, you know, if you're struggling in some way, if you have some, you know, anger issues or some anxiety issues, and recognize that could be, you know, bringing the tide down in some way with the people that you care about. So it might even inspire some opportunity around doing some personal growth, doing your own work, and overcoming those challenges, so that not only can you raise yourself up, but that you can help raise up the people around you as well. And so with that, I wish you a wonderful day. Have a great day, and I'll be back next week.